Alright, welcome back to part 2. This speaker, I'm going to try to disassemble some of this stuff. I think one of the problems is that the tuning condenser is really stiff, and that may be what's making the belt slip. The belt is stretched and loose, yada yada, but I think it's going to be needing cleaning, and we're going to have to replace those grommets anyway. The speaker, once it's unplugged, I think 4 screws, and it comes off. So we can get that out of the way. We can get this out of the way. We'll be able to clean quite a bit here. Clean it up, recap it, replace some wires, go from there. And so there we go. Let's get that started. All right, in the last video we did some continuity checks, and then 2 days later I wake up at 5 a.m. and realize we didn't do the IFs. So anyway, I've blown it up, and let me show you this. This is pretty neat. This is the first IF. Okay, and let's get a pointer. Here's the secondary, and you can check it from the top, because here's the capacitor. Well, let me show you. This. Let me get it close. All right, this is the top. Took the top off. Here's the 2 lugs, which is the secondary. And you can check it, and it's supposed to be 7.2 ohms. And we're looking at, oh yeah, didn't get it all in there, did I? There we go. Try it this way. Well, get good connection. 7.5, 7.4, looks pretty good. While we're here, why don't we go ahead and do this one, which this is the second IF, and on the top here will be the secondary also, and it should be 7.2. So let's pull the lead. Make sure you're in. So we're should see about the same thing. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let me flip this thing and get under the bottom. Here's the first IF, and on the bottom, if you'll look, this primary is the far left-hand side of the can itself. So if you see down in here, it's attached, and we're reading 6.6. So that's good. Let's go over here to the second IF. Okay. In order to check the primary, 7.2, it's the IF can on the bottom. It's the one on the far right, the top one and the bottom one, and it should be around 7.2. As you can see, down in this area here is the IF, and you can see we're reading 6.8. So the IF's checked good, and I woke up early for nothing. What do you think? I just unplugged the Magic Eye tube and there's a screw in this bracket, and this rubber gasket is just deteriorated. We'll have to find a replacement for that, but anyway, there was one screw came out here, and then this swings over, and then this tube just lifts out like that. And that looks red, but I've got a red shirt on, the reason it looks red. But that rubber gasket, we'll have to find something else. And I've just been kind of wiping this down with some wipes, just sanitize it a little bit. Then we'll have to go back and do some more cleaning. But I'm gonna go ahead and put this screw back in here so I don't lose it. I heard Albert from Hallicrafter Rehab, he quoted me that the floor monsters will get this. And anybody that's worked on these things know good and well what a floor monster is. You drop that screw, and in a matter of seconds, it's lost. And sometimes you can find them, sometimes you can't. All right, let's see what we can do with getting this tuning cap off. I'm gonna pull this whole tuning assembly off. 3 screws here, here, and here, and it should come right off. But I've got to desolder this wire here. And let me show you at the bottom where I've got to desolder, which is going to be a little bit entailed. There's 4 ground straps here, 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 and here that has to come out. Then there's this hard wire, which is here. This one should not be that big a deal. This one right here, I'm going to have to desolder this, and I'll probably take it from loose from this end and try to pull it back this way, or I may go ahead and try. I didn't want to mess with this switch, but this may be the easiest route, is to desolder it here and here and here, and then just, we'll see when we get there. Desoldered this, goes to the tuning condenser, and so did this. I removed it from this end and slipped it out this end and put it back to where it went. So it kind of reminds me. Now I've got to get these 4 tuning. 1, 2, 3. Maybe there's only 3. No, there's 4. There's 4. So let me get those out. I'll have to get the big boy out and desolder that. May have to start up the auxiliary nuclear plant to power it. I don't know. Well, I got everything desoldered, I think, including the grounds. And halfway through, there's 4 of them. After 2 of them, the big boy, the big soldering iron decided to bite the dust. So I end up taking the last 2 off with my pencil. Don't ask me how. It worked. And so I'll have to replace my big soldering iron. So let's go on top side and see if we can get this thing off. I desoldered this rubber wire. It's going to have to be replaced. It went to this point here. Took a nut off, and this is on the grommet, and there is a small washer and a larger washer that compresses that deal. Did I say deal? Looking for something to get that washer off. The reason I'm talking through this is whether I use this video or not, that is a lock washer. I see it now. A little lock washer, and then a large flat washer. And that compresses the deal, which is the rubber grommet, which is turned to stone. Now, I don't know if I can get down in there or not and show you. There's some 1/4 inch screws. You can see my hands. And I think when I get this off, I'll show you the whole get up. Let me get this out of the way. There's another one on the other side. Okay, I don't want this to fall on its face or anything, but I'll release the spring, release the hose, and get the belt off. And I'm thinking it's going to come off. That's what they all say, right? I think what's holding it now is the belt. Let's get a better look at this. Okay, it took me a little while to figure this one out without breaking it, but this just pops off. Let me see if I can get a close-up. The shaft is split, and that just pops on. And I think this one does the same thing with a little bit of relieving that pressure there. And it does, and the felt washer goes behind it. So I need to put these in for safe keeping. I just happen to have a little bowl that I bought the other day that I can put them in. But now I can take this front off and we can access all this. Since this front is very, I'm not saying it's brittle, but I'm not going to pry on it at all because, you know, think how old this thing is. So what I'm doing to get these little things out, I'm taking the butt end of a screwdriver and pushing them. Pushed them out. And try not to drop them. Okay, I got the front off. I'll put that in a real safe place, but that belt is pliable. I wonder if I could soak that in something. It's coming apart, but I should have a pretty good idea of maybe getting another belt somewhere. But let's see. The now this turns. I couldn't get that to turn a minute ago. I wanted to run that in, but okay, that's good enough. I think I can take those 4 screws off. Yikes! Did you see what happened? Wasn't paying attention. Take those 4 screws out, and I think I can get this whole assembly out and not even have to disassemble this. But of course, this drive down in here, I'll probably want to take it off and do some lubing on it. Let's explore these. Get this X-Acto knife and cut my hand off. Ah, there you go. This is, these are in one piece. These rubber grommets are in one piece. So I think I know where I can get some, but don't know if I have any right now. Remove those 4 screws, and that comes right off. So now we can access our condenser and our reduction drive. That's a direct drive. No, that's a, yeah, that's a planetary drive. So anyway, we can get to cleaning this stuff, and I've got to take some measurements on these grommets and order me some. I took and put that in a sink full of water with some Dawn dishwashing liquid and a few tablespoons of vinegar, just to help cut some of the crud, and used a toothbrush. Pretty smooth action right now, but while I'm here, I think I'm going to go ahead and take this stuff off and lubricate that planetary drive, and also the bearings down in there. Okay, took this apart, cleaned and lubed, and so we're going to set this aside and start working on the chassis a little bit more. Doing a little spit and shine and polish, and just doing my therapy. These people pay a lot of money for therapy that don't work near as good as sitting and rubbing on a radio chassis. Okay, got it cleaned up a little bit. There's still some pitting here and there, but all in all, it cleaned up fairly nice. So, got a lot of wire to replace, cracked wires, rubber wires falling apart. So let's look under the hood a little bit more. I did my best to save the stickers and the rating on it. So not too bad. I've decided not to restuff these capacitors, and I know I'm gonna get some comments on that. Well, you should. Well, you should. You know, whatever. There's a couple of schools of thought on this, and if you're restoring it and trying to make it look exactly right, this, that, and the other, then you need to take these paper caps and restuff them also. By restuffing this, it destroys the historical part of it, because 60 years from now, I know how this capacitor goes together. I've tore these apart. But 60 years from now or 80 years from now, when somebody tears into it, they'll say, hey, look, somebody has added these, but they left this in place. And somebody has an opportunity to learn. And there's probably going to be opportunities to see and what have you, but you leave this for historical purposes. Now that's one school of thought. The other is cut it open and restuff it and make it look original. Well, if I turn it up on it, looking in the back of it, it's going to look like it always has. So it's a personal choice, and so I've decided to find a place to put these filter caps. All right, there's a possibility, a terminal strip there for those two capacitors, and over here is another terminal strip here for this capacitor. and they're all connected. Didn't have to drill a hole, all put on existing fixtures. So while we're here, let's check this can-ohm resistor. It's a three resistors in one. Let me get the data and we'll look at it and we'll see if we need to do something else with that. Let's see if we can see this. Here's the can-ohm, which is R13, 16, and 17. Should be 216 ohms, 27 ohms, and 22 ohms. All right, let's see. 216, 27, and 22. Is that right? All right. Let's go across here. Should be 216. Well, let's make sure we get it hooked up. That's 228. That's about 95%. So that's within 10 for sure. Okay, this one should be, what did we say now? 27. If I can get it hooked on there. That's 28, 29, that's real close. And the next one should be 22, and that reads 24, 23-ish, 24. So that can-ohm looks good. Look at it, it looks almost new. So I think that's good. I'll go through here and check a lot of these others, and any resistor that's out of 10%, I will change. And then we'll replace the wires as we go, replace the caps. I'm going to start here and go that way and just fix it all up. Okay, I think we're going to end part 2 here. I'm going to try to keep the parts short enough and frequent enough that you don't have to sit there an hour and watch it. You can watch it in less than 30 minutes, hopefully less than 20. I don't know how much footage I got, but it's probably 20 minutes or so. So just a little bit of update, the COVID-19 update. As of today, Tennessee has 784 confirmed cases. We've got 3 deaths and 53 hospitalizations. So the number has grown. It looks like around 100 a day or so, and but so far nothing in our county here. So that's just maybe if they test them, who knows. But anyway, maybe with the warm weather, this stuff will start going away. I appreciate everybody watching. Picked up a couple of new subscribers, and I want you guys to be safe out there. So from Larry from the hills of Tennessee, thanks for watching.